Welcome back to CyHawkThoughts here, presented by Caffeinated Thoughts. Again, Steve Myers along with Chuck Utek. Week 1 in the books, Chuck. And what do you have to say about that?
Well, for those of you that tuned in last week, you would have heard us say, "Boy, I just hope everyone can get through healthy." That didn't turn out to be the case.
Not so much.
But both got victories. A win is a win is a win. And now it's just next man in.
Yes, this is true. So we'll start off. Let's talk a little bit about those injuries. McCall had a great day going. Don't know if any of you saw the video or the slow motion instant replay. It made me grimace for sure. So tell us a little bit about what that may do to the Hawks going forward.
Well, it means next man in. DeAndre Johnson behind Coker. I'm going to give Coker a pass this week. Yeah, it was raining. You don't want to fumble. You don't ever want to fumble. But, hey, it was raining. Let's see what happens this week. I think the weather's going to be good. It's going to be a good surface for everybody, and we'll see what happens.
No, it's a tough loss, definitely. He was playing so well, especially after Coker, who we both kind of predicted was going to be a beast against Tennessee Tech, just didn't really live up to expectations.
No, not yet.
On the Iowa State side, probably one of the biggest concerns at this point is Roosevelt Majid. It was tough to hear that Rhodes said that more than likely this could be a season-ending injury. Definitely not what we want to hear on our defensive line, especially since that's been a struggle for us, and now we just lose some more depth. So, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I wish we could have both come out injury-free and had a full roster coming into this week's game.
Yeah, unscathed would have been good, but we don't get that luxury, so that'll make things more interesting. Gives us something to talk about this week.
This is true. So I guess how do you want to start this out? I guess do a little recap of the Iowa Hawkeyes and their game against Tennessee Tech. We'll follow suit with Iowa State and their battle, for lack of a better word, with UNI.
What a game!
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't know if anyone saw it, but there was rain Saturday, and it was coming in from the north, and it was coming in from the west, and there was wind. And then there's this football, and it was a little slick, and there was problems with Coker holding on to it. There's one guy, though, that sure seemed to hold on to the ball, and he can still run, and his name's Marvin McNutt. That guy was awesome. Vandenberg, I can't really say. I give the Hawks in general an incomplete. I was impressed with how they played through all the elements, but you just don't know against a team like Tennessee Tech. It's a little different. Last week we were talking the kind of Northwestern light. Man, Morris looked great. It looked like he was in his old Solon days there. Prater looked fast. He was running down the sideline. Vandenberg to McNutt. Boy, I'll take 2 of those a week. That looked awesome as he approaches Danon Hughes' record. Hey, looks good to me. The weather is always an X factor in any game, and who knows? Maybe they got another notch they can tune it up. Maybe it affected Tennessee Tech because it slowed them down. This is going to be a big week. It's rivalry week. It's Iowa State. Everyone's fired up. It should be interesting to see.
I completely agree. So Vandenberg, how did he passing grade? Or
I'll give him. Maybe an incomplete totally because I don't know, but the guy, he had 219 yards, he had a couple touchdowns. He should have had a third one, but they ruled out the gentleman, Mr. Number 6 at the 1 yard line. What can you do? Actually, I think it was like the inch line, but oh well.
Yeah, we had plenty of reviews in our game, so it took an act to get into the end zone, at least from
they're reviewing the reviews.
Yeah. So let me know a little bit about Tennessee Tech and maybe some of the high points you saw for them.
Well, with Tennessee Tech, they brought this little pistol formation. They were kind of trying to install a little quick fast 60. The rain slowed them down. They couldn't hold on to the ball. The snaps were going all over the place. And, that's the weather messing up with you.
Gotcha. And in the running back situation right now, you said you got DeAndre going to be coming in. Are you worried at all? I mean, you said that you're going to give Coker a pass because of the rain, but does it make you a little uneasy that now teams are going to go after the strip more maybe than going after the tackle?
No, I think that's going to be a good thing for the people at Iowa. If people are going for the strip on Coker, go for the strip on Coker because he'll run through it. That's not going to be a problem at all. I think, just keep handing it off. I'm not worried about Iowa's running game at all.
Okay, good. Well, that's one of the things that I thought you might have been worried about after, because I know at least
it's the weather.
Hey, well,
now, next week, if he fumbles twice against Iowa State, then I'll be back here saying, all right, I'm worried.
Well, the one reason why I thought you might have been worried is because of Ferentz's comments, I believe, both at halftime and then after the game, saying, the fumbles are a concern.
They don't worry me.
Okay, good attendance, though, for the weather?
Oh, 70,255 strong. I'll go with that. Actually, I think it was 70,585, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I lost count in the raindrops.
Fair enough. So,
but hey, that was a good game. We expected Iowa to win. There were a small contingency of people that thought maybe Iowa State and UNI would, it could go either way.
Gotcha.
So what do you think about that? Was it closer? Obviously, per your pick, it was maybe a little closer than you thought. But
yeah, it was. So I was right about you not covering, but I was wrong on UNI. Actually, they covered and then some. I'm going to first give a shout out to UNI. They played very well. They didn't back down at all. They came in thinking they can win. They acted like they can win. They pushed us around. Rennie is the real deal. UNI fans, if you're watching this, Rennie is the real deal. That guy is going to give you guys a great season. I mean, just because of the way he is. He was phenomenal, Chuck. Absolutely phenomenal. He ran all over us. He had 127 yards on 18 rushes. Still put 181 through the air. He was phenomenal. So I'm going to give a quick shout out to them. They coming in FCS. They were ranked, so we knew they were going to be a good FCS team, but they came in and really, really put it to us. My thoughts. Start out with Jance. 18 for 40, 187 yards. He had a passing touchdown, which we'll talk about that here in a second, and then 2 rushing touchdowns. I don't think we saw the real Steel Jance until the fourth quarter. This guy had some jitters coming in. He had 3 picks.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, he had some jitters.
Yeah.
Now, I believe that 2 out of the 3 picks were his fault. I'm not going to blame him on the third. Hit our wide receiver right in the chest. Ball bounces up in the air. Pick. But we shot ourselves in the foot, kind of like what everyone was saying about UNI last year. Well, it was a close game. They had 4 turnovers or whatever it was. Well, this was a close game, and we had those turnovers, and I believe a lot of them were in the red zone. So, say what you want. It was a great game, but Jance really started to show what he's capable of in the fourth. We had 2 crucial drives, so we'll talk about it. 4th and 10, 26. We're in field goal range. Paul Rhodes says, we're going to go for this. Once again, our offensive line doesn't really do a good job of protecting him. He was running for his life all game long. He sprinted towards the sideline with a UNI Panther chasing him down right before he went out of bounds, tossed it up in the corner of the end zone, and Josh Lenz made an unbelievable catch. Got 1 knee in or 1 foot in or maybe just a shin. Who knows what it was.
1 knee,
but they reviewed it, and it stayed. Jack Trice was going crazy. Next thing you know, next play, 80-yard bomb, we're back down again. And so Jance brings us all the way down the field once again, and then shows some moxie, getting stopped at the goal line, but then doing a nice little spin move, and got in. So he definitely played up to expectations in the last 6-7 minutes of that game for sure. James White, in terms of our running game, looked actually really, really good. It wasn't Chantrell Johnson, it was James White, which was really, as I said before, I was really looking forward to seeing him because I knew he could be something special. I just didn't think that he would have so much more success than Chantrell did. Once again, showing that our offensive line really wasn't able to do much against their defensive front. Granted, we had a hurt KO, which never helps when you have KO hurt. I believe Rumpelmeyer may have played just sparingly because of surgery he had 8 days ago. So we did not have a healthy offensive line. Shouldn't matter. We should have the ability to push that defensive line of UNI around. We didn't get it done. Like I said before, Jance was running for his life. The wide receivers, we found out what Aaron Horn was capable of. Those guys have some chemistry. They moved from California here together, and he showed why he was going to be a big factor in this year's season. 7 catches for 69 or I don't remember what it was at this point in time, but he had a nice game, and Josh Lenz just followed him with about 57 yards, I believe. 4th down conversions, 3 for 3. You can't ever argue. I mean, that's a great line to have.
Whenever that's a,
I bet we're leading the Big 12 right now. Knott was all over the place. We expected that. The guy's, potential All-American. So, and Kirby Vanderkamp, just a great day. Average like 51, 52 yards a punt, 3 or 4 inside the 20. Great day for him. So, I would give us probably a C. And that has to do a lot with the lines.
Would you say that's your biggest surprise from what UNI was able to do with Iowa State, or Iowa State wasn't able to do?
I think it was the lines.
With UNI?
The
lines?
Their offensive line pushed us around. Their defensive line pushed us around. We couldn't stop Rennie running the ball. Our secondary played well. They were able to have a lot of knockdown passes, and that's why Rennie's passing number 15 for 32 didn't have a lot of pressure on him. And so if you're throwing under 50% and not having a whole bunch of pressure, that means our defensive backs are doing a
good job by the linebackers and D-backs.
Yes. So, other than that, like I said, I'd give it a C. I think Jance's grade went up once the 4th quarter rolled around. Our lines have got to do a better job. And we'll see. We lost Majid potentially, so the defensive line, it took a step backwards. So it's going to be an interesting week against Iowa this week. We'll see what happens.
You got it.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not going to be. I think it's going to be still a good game. I'm just a little more nervous than maybe what I was before.
Well, now let's just put a nice little bow on Week 1 college football altogether. Now, for those of you who did tune in last week, we did pick our first game. We're going to have a game of the week coming up. We'll pick that later. We had LSU-Oregon was our game of the week. Granted, you probably didn't get to see much of that because you were still jumping up and down.
I was at Jack Trice Stadium.
I got to see the second half. I was pretty impressed. For those that didn't tune in, Steve had Oregon. I had LSU. LSU was able to hang on and win that one. We're going to pick again later on a new game. But what are your thoughts with Week 1? Just putting about what surprised you on that?
It's a good question. Before I get into that, I do want to say I believe I picked Oregon winning 27 to something. I think they scored 27 points, so that's like half.
Yeah.
You
weren't counting on the defense, letting it down.
Yeah. So I picked the right score that Oregon was going to have. Just in a losing effort, I thought it would be in a winning effort.